So we are seeing about strangers. Strangers means what? They are outsiders. They are not a party. Right? Stranger means outsider, not a party, not part of the contract. Okay. So there are some provisions for strangers in the contract. Stranger to the contract cannot sue, but stranger to a consideration can sue. Stranger to a contract cannot sue, but stranger to a consideration can sue. So what is privity? There is also related here. Privity means relationship between parties. I have privity means I have a relationship with something. Okay, I know that. That's what it is. Privity. So, what is a general rule? A stranger to a contract cannot sue, though a stranger to consideration can sue, because the consideration can be furnished or supplied by any person, whether he is a promisee or not. Then all that we saw that. But a stranger to a contract cannot sue because there is the absence of a privity of the contract. That's why we studied what is privity earlier. Privity means relationship subsisting or existing between the parties to a contract. So let us see an example. Example 1. X owes Y rupees 1 lakh and sells his property to Z. Okay, X, Y and Z. X is owing 1 lakh rupees to Y. Right? Z promises to pay off X debt to Y. Right? X is the person who got the property. He says, I will pay the debt that X is owing Y 1 lakh rupees. Z is not paying. So what happened? Y cannot do Z? Because that money owing business is not part of the contract. He is a stranger. He is only buying the property. Okay. Example 1 finished. Example 2. X bought tires from Dunlop Tires and sold them to Y, a sub-dealer. Somebody who is below, right? Who agreed with X. X is the person, first person. It was not to sell below Dunlop's list price. Say you go to any shop, there will be a list price. So don't sell below the list price. And if you are selling below the list price, you are supposed to pay 150 rupees for every tire as damage. For every tire he is undersold. Undersold means selling below the list price. Y sold 2 tires at less than this price and thereupon Dunlop sued him for the breach. Okay. It was held, that's the court is saying, Dunlop company could not maintain the suit because it was a stranger to the contract. Right? That X and the Y, that contract, Dunlop is not part, Dunlop is somebody else. Right? So there is no privity, is a stranger. So here X owes Y 10,000 rupees. X is selling the property to Z. Z promising to Y, I will take care. But what happens? He fails. So cannot sue. Y cannot sue now because Z is a stranger to the 10,000 rupees contract. So you will see another exception to the stranger business. Let us consider a post office. X is sending a parcel to Y by post. Y did not get from the post office. Okay. But now, though Y is a stranger, he can sue the post office. Okay, because the receipt, he was a stranger to the contract, because the receipt to the article, post office becomes a trustee or the addressee. So he is supposed to do it. Exception to the rule, a stranger to a contract cannot sue. We know that. The rule that a contract cannot sue, stranger to a contract cannot sue, is subject to the following exceptions. Trust, you know, right? Trust. Yeah. Beneficial trust or whatever, like a charitable trust and things like that. A beneficiary for whom the trust is set up. Okay. May enforce the contract. Because even though he is a stranger to the trust contract, but his benefit is being created, so he can sue. X transferred certain properties to be held by Y for the benefit of Z. Z is the beneficiary. Z can enforce the agreement even though he is not a party to the agreement. This is an exception. Okay. X is the father of a minor daughter D and Y is the minor son's father. So he entered into an agreement of marriage for D and S, and the condition of the marriage, Y would pay his daughter-in-law D rupees 500. Kharch ke pan dan means time pass, pocket money, right? After the marriage took place, X died. On Y's refusal to pay the agreed amount to D, the court held that D was entitled to recover the amount as a beneficiary of trust even if he is a stranger to the contract between X and Y. This marriage business is considered as a trust. Hindu undivided family. Okay. A provision of marriage expenses of female member was made in a joint Hindu family. On partition, the female member sued the Hindu undivided family for expenses. They were not given. So it is held they are supposed to give, even though she was a stranger. In case of family settlement, person for whose benefit the provision is made under family arrangement may enforce the contract. Acknowledgement. The person who becomes an agent of third party by acknowledgement or otherwise. I say you are the person who was supposed to receive, I acknowledge. So you become the agent. So he can be sued. Once somebody becomes an agent, he is responsible. Assignment of a contract. You transfer the contract, right? Then they can enforce. X receives 1000 rupees from Y for paying the same to Z. So in between he is having it. Y is there, X is the agent, Z is the final person. X receives Y 500 from Y. Z is supposed to be given that 500. Okay. Now Z can recover from X though he is a third party to the contract between Y and X. X will be regarded as the agent of Y. So that is how it works.